Hey, hi, my name is Josh, and I'm here to teach you math rock. So before I get started, the reason why I'm doing this is because I previously stumbled on a video that said how to do math rock, and the guy just talked about tapping. It's not all tapping. And then my girlfriend called me out and said I should make another video, so I'm like, alright, fine. So, let's get into the actual definition of math rock via Wikipedia. Math rock is a rhythmic, complex, often guitar-based style of experimental rock and indie rock music that emerged in the late 1980s. It is characterized by complex, atypical rhythmic structures, including irregular stopping and starting, counterpoint, odd time signatures, angular melodies, and extended and often dissonant chords. In short, math rock is complete bullshit. I love it to death, but man, it's pretty much people just trying to show off. So if you're a beginner, you want to get into this genre, unless you're there for it, I wouldn't recommend it before you start learning some things. The first thing you should start learning on are time signatures. First of all, make sure you're able to play 4x4. And then start trying to get into the 7/4 time signatures and whatever else you want. It doesn't matter. That's a key component, I think, in math rock, is the switch it up and confuse people, and just show off your skills. There's an awesome app. There's like a metronome app. Any of them really does the trick. You're gonna have to play through them, but that definitely helps when you're trying to start beginning on that. I am no means an expert at time signatures, but just having a little background in it will help you out a lot, and getting your point across that, like, hey, this is the kind of genre I'm in. Work on your techniques, arpeggios, tapping. Yes, tapping is included in it, but it's not everything. Finger picking, key changes. Your scales, definitely dig into your scales. It depends what you're trying to portray across, but you're going to want to know your cage systems, your triad. Learn your circle of fifths. Your circle of fifths is definitely going to help you, especially when you're trying to get a little bit more complex and going from one progression to a completely different progression, but somehow try to blend that in. A lot of that kind of stuff I like to dig a little into jazz music. That's definitely going to hit two of them, which is going to be, well, maybe three. It's going to be your triads, getting that kind of blend of going from one progression to another, and tackling your time signatures as well. Depending on how you want to go about your jazz, it's also going to teach you the finger picking that you might want to incorporate. Again, it's just all showing off, really showing off your skill, and if you don't really have any skill to show off, it's not gonna be portrayed as such as much as you want it to. You're definitely, I guess, some bands that you can look into is Piglet. That's crazy out there. Bear Cubbing is one of those that's newly emerging. Sean is one of those bands that they kind of get off every now and then, but they usually stick to a 4x4. But when you listen to them, you understand why I mentioned them. Horse the Band is more on the mathcore side, but it's definitely one of those that it kind of gets you into the genre. Not necessarily if you don't like pretty jazzy things. That's definitely one of those that definitely hits the air just right in my thinking. You can also go on to the internet and find out everything that I mentioned about the cage system, the triads and whatnot. Let's see what else. It's ultimately, it's all up to you. Whatever you want to do voicing wise. If you want something happy, start looking into your major scalings. Look into definitely the 7. I just call them the 7. Your dominant 7 and your major 7. Anything that deals with that, or your 9th. If you're going to the minor, which is not one I generally dab in when I do my math rock, so I'm sorry if I'm not going to be so fluent in that. But still, it's kind of the same concept. You just find out what you want to play. It's all air, and then there's no getting around genre. In fact, I don't know how we even label genre, to be honest. but it's whatever you want to play, and it's just kind of, if you keep in mind it's just kind of showing off, then you're going to hit that kind of genre, or somebody's going to come up with something completely different. My best advice is not to try to hit a genre. If it's something you like, look into what your favorite bands are playing and just try to incorporate some of their technique. So hopefully that helps more so than the other video I watched that's like, yeah, you just do some tapping and you'll get math rock. No, if that was the case, then Van Halen's fucking math rock. If that was the case, a lot of bands out there doing sweeps are math rock, which they're not. Anyways, I hope this helps, and hopefully you're not too mad because I'm not exactly showing you, I'm just telling you to look up stuff. So take care.